So last time we did Wellspa treatment on Dallas's arm, right? I think many people will be curious about what the gadget we used and what is it and how it works and what's the benefits. So we're gonna talk about Q&A session about that. Okay. So the gadget we used on Dallas's arm was Wellspa IO. So this Wellspa IO is microcurrent device. Like some people say it's a body massage device, but when we say massage, we think it's usually pressure massage, but this is not the pressure massage, it's microcurrent massage. I mean, microcurrent treatment.
I'm doing massage, which is, mechanical massage, which means bending the bones and everything. Mm-hmm. So I sort of relate it to the nano or the microcurrents to the same thing as bending the bones and creating that electricity that is actually in our body that opens up the neural pathway systems. And I believe that the microcurrents were doing the same thing, as I have a really bad shoulder that I created, and I thought it was from dragon boating, but really it isn't. It's just from when I was doing reflexology, and I would always tell people, don't do this with your shoulders, don't bend them forward like that. But when I do reflexology, it's always with my right hand. And it's really deep and really healing, really good for the client, and especially for draining the lymphatic system. But this is where I created my own problem with my shoulder. And when we used the nano microcurrent, it was amazing how much different my shoulder felt and how much more looser it felt. So then I start kind of wondering, wow, how much of this is the same as doing massage, because it's loosening up all of this real tight, hardened fascia and muscle. And also with the microcurrent from Galvanic Spa, we experienced from working on so many people together and combining what we have is that it was helping to drain their lymphatic system. And of course, when your lymphatic system isn't draining right and you get all the inflammation in your legs or your arms, wherever it is not draining properly, it becomes really sensitive and really hard for me to touch doing massage. And using the Galvanic Spa, it's a very gentle, you barely even feel it. You barely even know that anything is happening, but you see the results because the inflammation just goes down, almost completely gone from using the Galvanic Spa.
Mm-hmm. Good. I don't know much about like science, but I know like our body, like every human being has electricity going on inside our body, and also even the neurons too. Like all the neurons, each other works as electricity too, right? And probably the muscles and everything. It really helps electricity like in enhancement. So there is pain treatments. I don't know in here Canada, but in Korea there is a pain treatments with this microcurrent. So normally when even microcurrents has been used in like clinical the skin clinics, or like since 1950s. So it is performed by professionals in the clinics for pain or for beauty. But this gadgets, we have a facial galvanic spa, which also use microcurrents, and the Wellspa for your body. These microcurrent devices you can use at home, even though you're not professional, because it's very safe, and it also detects your own current, because everybody has a different currency, and this gadget detects your own current, and using your own current, it heals your pain, and it removes the source of pain, and also it relieves your muscles, like muscle tightness. And also it helps, most importantly, it helps lymphatic circulations a lot better. So even your lymphatic knots are closed because you're not working out, you know, then this microcurrent will help losing up and opening up your lymphatic knots, and also your lymphatic fluid flows better. So that's how our toxins, or even that fat cells and everything, can get rid of from our body too, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Why?
Fantastic. I think you've been doing this for 30 years instead of me doing massage. And that is a big part of the reason why we connected about 2 years ago. Chohi was the first person I ever heard talk about fascia. And I met them at the Korean festival. They were at the park in Eau Claire Market, or just across from Eau Claire Market. And I asked her about I had real bad dryness in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were so dry underneath here. Every now and then I would have to get my finger in there and pick out this real thing that sharp, sometimes really hurt me. And I asked Chohi if she had anything that could help me with that. And right away she just said yes, as if she absolutely knew 100% she was going to make a difference. Well, she was right. Ever since I've met her, I haven't really had those very much. But when I stopped using Wellspa is the one that I've been using, and I noticed when I stopped using it that a little bit of it comes back, and then I'll start using it again on myself, and it takes it away. And with the galvanic spa, what treatment did we do?
Wellspa and galvanic spa.
Yeah, what did we do with the galvanic spa? That was all the lymphatics.
On your neck?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You did all the lymphatics on my neck, and I felt the difference in it. Not that I have that much of an issue with the lymphatics as far as I know. But what happened was when she started doing that work on me, and of course with the galvanic spa, she has to ground me with her hand, correct? She has to ground me with that in order for the microcurrents to work properly with the frequency of my body and her grounding. It's like a positive and negative wire. You have to have that grounding in order for the galvanic spa to work on you. Whereas with the Wellspa, you can do it on yourself, or somebody else can use it on you, and you don't need to do the grounding.
That's just because someone else is giving him a treatment. When you use it by yourself, you don't need anything about that.
Right. Mm-hmm. And for me, the whole experience of new skin, I got drawn into it because of all the benefits that I felt. And I've been doing massage on people for, I started in 1995, but I didn't really begin doing massage professionally, I guess you might say, and reflexology till 1997. And that's when I created the business called Energy Is Us. Without even knowing about the neural pathway system, or that our bodies were all about energy, it just, that business name came up, and mostly because I was working with essential oils, and I knew that they were about frequency. And it's the same thing with them. If you want to raise your frequency, you know, they are really good for that. As rose essential oil, which is very, very expensive, is, oh no, I don't remember the hertz. 320 hertz. Anyway, you could correct me if I'm wrong there, but I don't remember it completely. No, I lost myself.
But tell them about the, the frequency that when we feel anger or when we feel love.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a really good one. I don't even know what year it was, but I first moved out to a farm when I come back from Tumbler Ridge, BC, where I worked in a coal mine. And in 1991, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and I ended up on disability for 10 years. We had purchased a farm, and my next door neighbor, he witched for water. So he taught me how to witch for water. So when we bought the farm, I just went out there with coat hangers and witched for water, and I told the guys where to drill. And then a little down the road, I discovered the essential oils and that they were energy. And then I started testing people with the coat hangers to see how their energy was. And because the water being energy, and what happens is we get dehydrated from drinking coffee. We get dehydrated even if we just hold a cup of coffee. And what happens is the reason we can detect water with the coat hangers is because it's all energy. And then what happens is if people drink coffee and you walk towards them with the coat hanger, it won't turn. And when their energy is, like you can detect their aura, say from 10 feet away, the coat hanger will turn. So, and then all of a sudden, all of the oils and now the nanomicrocurrents or microcurrents, everything has sort of come together for me in all of these years, and working with people with all different kinds of diseases. And Chohi and I worked on a fella with, he had 2 strokes and a heart attack, and his feet were completely purple. There was no circulation in there whatsoever. I did reflexology on this fella, and Chohi worked with the Wellspa and the galvanic spa. And between the two of us, his feet were completely like the same color as my hand. And I think that's about all I can say now.
I was talking about the frequency when we're talking about the frequency when we feel, love. You said the frequency is 500.
500 hertz,
Yeah.
Frequency of love. And if you go down to the frequency of the word hate, you just lower your frequency to a negative frequency. So like Tibetan singing bowls and crystal bowl healing and all of this stuff, and being family orientated, like Chohi does yoga with her son on her back, and you can almost see the energy and the auras of both of them. It is so far out, so widened that their energy, and it's really high. And there's no other way to explain a lot of what really happens is that the energy surrounds us everywhere we go, and people will be more attracted to you because they know your energy. The little children, like, I don't know, how old is your youngest?
3.
He's 3 years old. He can see the energy. These little kids can all see your energy, and they can all also detect negative energy. And that's really hard for them. And when they're that little, it's really good to see moms that, especially Chohi is not a single mom. She has an amazing family. And every time I come over here, I just feel like, wow, it's a whole new world. And it's really enlightening for me. And that's what I say, what happens to us when we get rid of all these hardened muscles and hardened fascia through galvanic spa, through Wellspa, through massage, through acupuncture, through chiropractic work. When we open up the neural pathway system in whichever way works for us, is that all the calcification, hardening of the muscle or the fascia starts becoming loose. So if, like, when I go on here, I don't know if you can hear that, but I've got hardened muscles in here that are now opening up. And what has happened is, again, I'm going to go back to, I was doing reflexology and constantly like this and not knowing that I was like that. They hardened so much that it actually affected my neck. And now I have ways that I can perform my own treatments. But of course, I prefer when somebody else is doing it.
So, yeah, like even doing yoga or even like meditations, crystal bowls or drum circles and anything, you know, like physically, even though you don't like physically touch for a massage or nothing, with the, you know, surrounding with the good energy, with high frequency, still can heal your mind and your mood, your vibe. But this Wellspa like touches you physically onto your skin, and with the high frequency of electricity, and heals inside of your body, and that's a very strong effect.
I think is it Joe Dispenza? No, Bruce Lipton, who talks about heart-brain coherence and breathing techniques, of course. And that is one thing that I am finding that is probably about the most valuable part of the whole equation for everyone, is that we don't breathe well enough. You know, most people are really stressed because they're at work and they're trying to make $1 million for a company that has bazillion dollars already. But, you know, they want their employee to make a couple million every day for them. And they become so stressed that all of a sudden all these blockages come into their body and their neural pathway system starts closing off. And yet a lot of people think, oh, I thrive off of stress. But it'll get you. It'll get you. And one day you'll just drop, just like I did. And that's how I ended up on 10 years disability with rheumatoid arthritis. And working through that, I realized that, wow, when I start discovering these people that already knew all about the whole neural pathway system and why meditation works and how the pineal gland has the crystals in it, and when drugs or alcohol or anything that doesn't absorb or pass through your body goes to your hands and your feet, and it creates a huge blockage that stops your neural pathway system from firing properly. And when that is blocked, then you can't have that heart-brain coherence, which is very important, because when you start feeling everything from the heart, it feels like your whole life is just taking a completely different turn. And every experience you have turns into something phenomenal, something unexplainable. Just like being inside the pyramid, I in 2008 was inside one by myself. And when I come out of there, it felt like, wow, my whole world changed. And how amazing it felt. And when all of a sudden my whole, even my brain, I even felt different. I started doing different treatments, and it just became magical. So if we can take those unexplainable or empirical experiences and just know that we have our own experiences to depend upon, and that we become the masters of our own experiences. Bless you.
Excuse me.
No, kamsahamnida. No. Bless
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. So, like he explains just now, I think a lot of modern disease causing from a blockage, even from your blood vessels. If there's a blockage and it doesn't flow well, there is a like vascular disease too, and also like lymphatic too. If there's a lymphatic there's a blockage, mostly like in front of the big lymph nodes are, right? So they have a swollen leg, swollen arm, so it doesn't really flow well, then they can't really, get rid of this sewage from our body too, right? And also cannot deliver the good nutrients, when from what we eat, from our workouts, right? So it's really important to always flow well and remove the blockage. And the Wellspa not only helps the lymphatic fluid flows better, but also they found the blood vessel blood circulations get better too. Yeah. So whoever you in the morning when you wake up, you feel like very heavy or like swollen your like eyes or swollen fingers, then that means your circulation is not good right now. So using Wellspa before you go to bed, then you will feel very lighter, very pleasant in the morning.
Just one thing I can add to this is when people have really acidic bodies, that stops everything from flowing. That stops all your organs from working properly. And I fell into a product called Corella a long time ago. And I know that New Skin has a product that helps with that as well. The main thing is that your body will not function right. Your body will not even accept essential oils raising your frequency. And I don't know about galvanic spa or Wellspa if they work as well either when your body is really acidic. Chohi was telling me a story about working on her mom who had inflammation. Am I okay to share?
Yeah.
Who had inflammation, and the galvanic spa wouldn't. How did you say that? It wouldn't function properly because there was so much blockages in her leg. And I've noticed that with everybody that I ever work on in the beginning stages of working on people, of course with the human touch, is that if their body is really acidic, that the essential oils aren't nearly as powerful as they can be, or any of the treatments that I do are not nearly as powerful as they can be. Until we finally get that neural pathway system open up, because that's what it is. All the toxins go into your hands and feet, and those calcium deposits that are in there are actually acidic. And that's what's making our bodies so hard to deal with in these days of the food we eat. We don't know how many chemicals are in there, and believe me, I don't eat 100% right either for myself. But I try to watch my best what I eat because I don't want my body to be acidic. You got to lead by example, and you've got to do your own work as well as, other people helping you. So we're all just a catalyst, Galvanic Spa is a catalyst, Chohi's a catalyst, I'm a catalyst, anybody who does this kind of work, acupuncture, chiropractic, we're all just there to guide you from the beginning, and then you become the master of your own healing experience.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think we already talked about what we can expect from using Wellspa, right? It helps lymphatic circulations better, even blood circulations better, and relieve tense muscle, or like I said, break down the calcified ones too, because if you leave it for a long time, it can be an inflammation, and if you leave that inflammation a long time, it can cause cancer too. So you have to prepare in advance, not making a big disease. And also it helps not only the health wise, it also helps like skin tightening, remove cellulite, and also the skin, like dark spots, and like bright and smooth skin too. So in Canada, Wellspa is a beauty devices, but in America, FDA approved it's a medical device too. Yes, so it's actually approved with the medical benefits too. So if you're looking for anything about health, wellness, and beauty product, it's all in one. So, and also anyone who's living in the Calgary, we can give you a free trial too. If it's not, we can still give good informations, or even Zoom call demonstration too. And if you already know, and if you already used the Wellspa, and if you liked it, there is also financial opportunity for you too. If you like it, you share the story, and you share the story online or offline, and you can have a financial benefit too. If you'd like to know more about that, please leave a comment, or you can contact us through Instagram or Facebook.
And another good point is, since I met Chohi, we decided to combine both of these therapies together. Like I said earlier, we did a treatment on the fella who had a couple strokes and a heart attack. And we made such a big difference with the combination of these treatments. And myself, almost 30 years of experience doing holistic work, starting off with ear candling, believe it or not. But that took me to the place where I am today. For a fellow who's been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, so I was in a very negative state. It took me to understanding the body, and that's because of rheumatoid arthritis. I was so happy. I'm so happy today to say that I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, because I wouldn't be where I am today had I not grown from that experience. And now I'm at a point where I feel confident enough, I understand the body well enough, that I can say to anybody today that if you understand reflexology just this much, just a little bit, you don't have to know a lot. All you need to know is that every part, organ, and gland corresponds to your feet. So when I can tell you where your endocrine system is out of balance. If you have hardness in the liver reflex point, or any part of your body, it really makes a big difference to just have even a little bit of that knowledge where you experience it. And so when you experience Wellspa combined with this, to me, it's kind of like got a full, you get a full answer out of the experience. And the lightness that you feel from having both. I call it now enlightenment. We'll say that the Dalai Lama enlightens you. We enlighten you now. So I think it's time
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was all for today to share. So if you guys have more questions, let me know in the comments. And bye.
See you later next time.
Bye.
Cheers and to everybody.